Hello viewers, welcome to DTKSS. In this session, we are going to discuss about tips and tricks using of GitHub Copilot chart. What is this GitHub Copilot chart? The GitHub Copilot chart is a chart interface that let you interact with GitHub Copilot AI model to ask and receive the answer related to the coding problems. So why we need this GitHub Copilot chart? For example, when the programmer writing the code, they have faced the problem and that particular problem cannot able to solve by themselves. So what they will do? They will go to the search engine and they will type that problem statement and read the related documented what been listed in the result search. Or they will go to the specific forums and they will try to find the solution through that particular forums. So during this process, developer has to spend lot of time to read these documentations or refer those forums to find the solutions what they are facing. But when you are using this GitHub Copilot chart, when you type the problem statement in the chat window, it will start giving you the suggestions and or prompts how to solve that particular problem you are facing. So using this approach, developer can save lots of time and they can spend in other area to improve their coding standards. If you are not using this GitHub Copilot chat window, then if you are referring to the general search engines, you need to read the bunch of documentations to find the solutions. So the GitHub Copilot chart is helping to the developers or programmers to find the solution to their coding problems. So in these sessions, I'm going to discuss slash comments exist in the GitHub Copilot chart. What is this slash comments? The slash comments in Copilot chart help you set the intent quickly for the common development tasks. So here I have listed a few comments exist in the Copilot chart. Now we'll discuss why these comments is required to solve our problems. So there is a command called /clear. So this is specific to the chart window. If you want to clear the history of that particular chart window, you can use the /clear. This is specific to clear the chart window. And now next we discuss about the /doc command. So what is this doc command will helps to the program. Add the comments for the specified or selected code. For example, as per standard approach, when we write the or we created any method, on top of that we will add our comments. What is the purpose of this particular method and what input parameters we are passing and what is the output it is getting. We will write that kind of documentation for each method. So in this approach, developer has to spend some time to add those comments in a meaningful way to understand by other programmers. But using of this particular doc command, this GitHub Copilot chart window will help to write those comments on top of methods automatically without the developers writing manually. So developers will get a lot of time. They don't need to spend the time to write these kind of comments for the specific methods. Next command is /explain. This particular command will help to provide the explanation of the particular code. How this command will helps to the program. For example, when you are trying to analyze or trying to fix the issue on the existing code, but you are not understanding the code, why they have write that code, or how the flow is happening between that particular method or statements. So when you write this slash explain and to the specific method or specific class, it will, the Copilot chat window will give you the detailed explanation why that method has been created, how it will works, what parameters it is passing, and how those parameters are being calculated inside that particular method, and what is the response we are giving to the end user. All those details will be written in the chat window very in detail. So developers no need to spend to understand that particular code. So they can use this particular slash explain and it will give you in a layman terms why that particular method has been created, what is the purpose of that particular method. So using these comments, whatever the chat window has been written a detailed description, you can read that description and you can modify that particular method what you want. And there is one more command called slash fix. For example, when you are writing the code, you have faced some issue. You don't know how to fix that particular issue what you are facing in the code. So you can use this particular slash fix command to get the suggestions how to fix that particular problem you are facing. So how you can run this particular slash fix command is, you can write slash fix and you can write the method in that particular class. Or the second way is, select a desired code in the video code editor and enter the slash fix in the chart window. And there is one more command called slash generate. This particular slash generate will help to generate the code what you have been asked to write the code. For example, slash generate code to add the two numbers in calculator. So this is the example. There is one more command called slash optimize. For example, when your application is running in a production environment, you have faced that any specific method or specific functionality is getting slow and it is not reached to the without before getting timeout. So you need to optimize your code to improve the performance of applications. How you can do? So you can use this slash optimize command to optimize the specific code and improve the performance of that particular methods. There is one more command called slash tests. So this particular slash test command will help to write a unit test cases for the specific method or specific class. So now we'll switch to the Visual Studio to demo how we can use these commands to write our code. Perfect. I have switched to the Visual Studio and here I have taken a example of a repository pattern solution. So it contains 4 solution files like unit of work demo, unit of work demo.care core, unit of work demo.infrastructure, unit of work demo.services. So these 4 solutions has been created for specific purposes. So this unit of work.demo contains a controller which receives the request and it will interact with the rest of 3 solutions to get the data and send to the end users. And this particular core contains all the definitions of interfaces or declaration of models, and this unit of work demo.infrastructure solution is going to help us to interact with the database and get the data from the database. and unit of work demo.services. This is the business service application which handles the interact with the database and return that particular response to the controller methods. So these are the purpose of 4 solutions. Now we focus on that to create a demo on those commands we talked just now. So I'll go to the Visual Studio View tab and GitHub Copilot chart. So here, when you open a GitHub Copilot chart, one advantage is you can maintain the multiple threads. So for example, you are asking this particular thread you are using for the solving of this particular unit of demo. So you are using only for this particular solution, you are going to use this particular thread. If you want to maintain one more thread to ask a different questions from this GitHub Copilot chart, you can click on this plus, so which helps to create a new thread. So from using of this, so using of this, you can able to maintain the multiple threads to ask a specific questions or maintain a specific questions on that particular thread. Perfect. So now we talk about each command which we discussed just now. So first we talk about that particular /doc command. So this particular /doc command will help to write the comments on the specific method. For example, I have considered this delete product method. So this particular method, what it is going to do is, it is taking a input parameter product ID and checking the condition. If the product is greater than 0, then it is fetching the details from the database. That product details is fetching from the database. And if that product details is not null, so that means we are successfully fetched the data from the database, then you can able to delete that product from the database and you can save the transaction. Perfect. So now I want to write the comments to this particular method. So how we can write is, I have selected the one way approach is, I have selected that particular code and I will type /doc. That's it. So now I got the comments here. Like what is this particular method is asynchronously deletes a product, and what is the parameters we are passing is, we are passing a product ID is the input parameter, the ID of product to delete. Okay, so what is the output we are getting is that a task that represent a asynchronous operations, the task result contains a boolean value that represents the result of delete product method. That's it. So how you can apply this particular comments, whatever you are here it is listing, how you can apply is, either you can copy this code block and replace here manually, or click on the preview. So when you click on the preview, it will show you how when you want to apply the changes, how it will looks like. So here you will get 2 options called accept or cancel. Either you can able to click on the cancel button so that it will not apply any changes, or you can click on the accept button. So when you click on the accept button, whatever the comments has been suggested by the GitHub Copilot chart, it is going to apply to the particular code directly. So how simple it is, because you are not spending much time to write these comments. It is helping to you to give the comments and you are just clicking a button to apply those changes to the specific method. Now we'll talk about one more command called /explain. For example, I will navigate to the infrastructure unit of demo dot infrastructure. In this method contains a service dot extension class. So we know that this particular method, what this method is doing is we are registering the services into the DI container. So I want to know what this particular method is doing. So I'll go to here. The one approach is slash explain, then you need to type that particular method name. So service of extension method in sorry. So the method name is AI add DI services. So explain add DI services method in service extension class. So when you type this particular slash explain and method name in the particular class, it started giving me what this particular method is going to do. So this is the one approach. You can get the explanation of that particular method. This particular command you can execute in simple way is without writing any description. You can select the particular code, then you can slash explain and execute. That's it. It will provide you the same explanation what you get from using this description command and with description, and when you selected the code and execute the command called slash explain. So what this particular slash explain is giving the description of that particular what this method is doing is the selected code is a extension method named add di services for iService collection interface. This method is used to register the services for the dependency injection in the .NET Core application. That's it. Here it has given a point by point what this specific line of code is doing, what this specific line of code is doing, what this specific line of code is doing. It is giving a detailed of explanation. So using this explanation, developer can read in layman terms what this method is doing, and they can able to change the changes quickly without spending time to understand the code. So using this approach, definitely developer productivity will increase a lot and they will take a less time to solve the problems. And one more command called slash fix. At moment we don't have any problems and this particular solution is running successfully, but I will create a problem here and we'll get a solution from the GitHub Copilot chat how to solve that particular problem. Here in this add db context, this particular method is using the NuGet package called the Microsoft.entity framework code. So what I'm going to do here is I'll go to the dependencies packages and I will remove all the related NuGet packages exist in the my solution. So I'll just remove this and I'm removing the entity framework code tools as well. So now this code editor started giving me the errors because of missing of the NuGet packages. So we need to understand how to solve this particular problem. So the one approach is select this entire code and execute the command called slash fix and run this particular command. So what it is giving is the error message suggests that add db context extension method cannot found. So this particular method cannot found. So what is the solution is provided by GitHub Copilot chat. The method is part of Microsoft Entity Framework core namespace. So it is suggesting that this particular add db context extension method is part of this namespace. You need to add this namespace to solve the problem. So what I will do here is I'll just copy this namespace, go to the package manager console, then here I'll install that package, whatever the package it is missing, I will install the package. So install the command to execute this particular NuGet package is install package, and I want to install a specific version of the package. So 6.0.8. And since I have removed other NuGet packages like SQL Server, also .tools. So these are all the supporting packages for Entity Framework core. So where we have executed, okay, we have deployed into the ROM. So this particular service extension class exists in the service unit of demo.infrastructure, but earlier we have executed in the demo. So I want to correct that problem. So first we want to install the Entity Framework core, then SQL Server, then tools. So now you can able to see that the problem or the error which is highlighting earlier was solved automatically. So using GitHub Copilot chat, you no need to navigate to the external sources to find the solution to this particular problem. Within your code editor itself, you can find the problem and you can fix the problem. Then one more command which we discuss now is /tests. So this particular /test is used to write the test cases to the methods. For example, if I go to this product service, I want to write the unit test cases for this method. What is the possibilities to write the unit test cases to this update product method? So what is the possibilities is we are taking input parameter as product details. So the possibility is this product details is empty or null. So then we'll get this particular false result. Or one more probability is whatever the product details or product ID you have passed, that product ID does not exist in the database. Perfect. So this is one more possibility. And third possibility of successful scenario, whatever the product details you are passing, it is passed through all this particular code and it will give you a successful response. So these are all the three possibilities available in this writing unit test cases for this update product. So we'll try now with this Copilot chat whether it is suggesting the same probabilities or any other is available. So now I'll go to the GitHub Copilot chat and type a command called tests and execute that command. See, here it is giving the namespaces also, whatever the required namespaces to create the unit test cases. So now we'll see that what are the probabilities of unit test cases is generated using the GitHub Copilot chart. So first is when product is null. That means what we discussed just now, same as this particular product is null, and product details is null. So meaning whatever the product details you are passing, this product details is null, we are checking that particular condition. And when product is updated successfully, meaning that successful scenario, that is the third probability, is the product is updated successfully. Perfect. So what I want to write, it was given me exactly the unit test cases. Perfect. Then one more scenario we'll discuss is slash optimize. This is also very important command. For example, when any of your method or your functionality is not working properly, which is taking a lot of time, how you can find the solutions, how you optimize your code. So this particular command is going to provide you the option how you are going to optimize your runtime. So I have selected the code and run this particular command called optimize. So when I run this particular command called optimize, it start giving me how you can able to optimize or how you can improve the performance of this particular application. So meaning that what suggestions it is giving me is whatever the input parameter value, if it is null, then don't go further, just return false. Else you proceed to check that particular product ID is exist in database or not. If that product is null, then return false. So meaning you cannot do anything, you cannot update anything. If that product is exist, then what you do, you update the product details and save the data into the database. And when you are returning this, in this particular thing, what I'm writing here is I'm writing a if else condition. But here GitHub Copilot chart, what it was suggesting here is instead of writing this if else condition, you can return the whatever the result you are getting from the unit of work.save method, you can return that particular result itself. So no need to execute these few lines of code or no need to process these few lines of code, which saves your the runtime. So